Boom, we are live. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And welcome, Mr. Shawn Trader Guy, our Bybit Ranger in SA and local guru, now coming to the global stage. So welcome, everybody. Hashtag WMO, Wednesday Market Outlook on Bybit Global. And Shawn is here to give us some insights into what is going on. So once again, please do invite your friends to the chat and let's get going. Shawn, I'll hand over to you. I'm here to take questions, so please do ask your questions, hashtag WMO. We are here to help, we're here to listen, and let's get going. Welcome again, everybody.
Amazing. Thanks, Jordan. Welcome, everybody. So, yeah, Bitcoin, man, this thing's been bullish over the last couple of days. Jeez. So, yeah, we can see just every time it's consolidated a little bit, it's consolidated, and there you can see consolidation and a move up, consolidation, move up, consolidation, move up. And actually, there's been a lot of FIB golden pocket retracements going up. And there you can see consolidation going up. This one, there wasn't even a touch on the golden pocket. And currently, we're consolidating again, but we are at a heavy resistance. And you know, very, very simply, we are trading in a very, very tradable range right now. So if you wanted to, you could look at shorting at the top and longing at the bottom. So I'm going to draw a little parallel channel. So touching right up there, 23,408. And we can go right all the way down to there to 22,300. And you can see I've got an alert set for just below that because I'm waiting for a lovely little swing failure pattern of this low. So for those of you that don't know, a swing failure pattern, okay, I'm just going to move this out the way so I can mark it. A swing failure pattern is basically where you get a move or a wick below the last low, and it basically takes out the liquidity below there. People set their stop losses below this swing low, and what happens is that they stops trigger. So they would have gone long at this point and they see it going. And what happens is that the stops trigger as shorts and the big guys come in and just buy up that liquidity and it goes up. Now, of course, it doesn't always happen that way. So one thing I've noticed today is that we've had almost 3 touches of these levels here. So I'm going to switch off this parallel channel. And I'm going to just switch on my levels. You can see we've got a very, very nice daily level there. And, you know, for those guys that don't remember, the way I get my levels, my horizontal levels, is I look at where a previous wick is closed and the next one is open. You can see I'm on a daily chart. So right there at the candle open and close, we've had very, very nice wicks down to those levels over the last couple of days. 25th of Wednesday, 25th of January, that's today. And just a couple of hours ago, 2 hours ago, we had a wick down to that point. So, you know, I was looking at this earlier. I actually took a small scalp short. And, yeah, I actually thought price was going to come down and take out this previous low. So I actually didn't take a long. So you'll see I've got my FIB retracement over here. And, okay, so let me just actually draw it for you. So basically, if we've got a liquidity move to the downside, generally you can draw from the bottom of that wick, pull it all the way to the top of the pivot. So I'm watching for price to come down to hit this $22,495 area. So, yeah, we've got to see what price does at this level. So maybe during the stream, we'll have price come down to there. We'll check out the order flow. Maybe we can enter into a long. So for those of you that have been following on the Bybit South Africa account, I started a little Degen account, but yeah, I doubled that account almost in about 4 days. And then I made a very stupid mistake and I lost almost all of my gains. But over the last 2 days, I've made some gains again. But I'll show you what I'm doing with that account. So,
and just explain the difference in that account to your normal trading style and the way you're allocating equity to that account according to the risk appetite?
So this account I'm calling my degen or degenerate account, where I am trading quite risky on it. I would not trade like this on my normal account. My normal account, I use a certain percentage of my capital. You always use between 1 to 2% of your capital as your position size, or you risk 1 to 2% of your capital, so that if your stop loss gets hit, the most you ever lose is between 1 to 2% or 5% at most. This account, I'm literally risking half of the account on every trade. So because you're risking half of the account, the gains that you make, and I'll show you just now, on about $100 move, remember it's a $250 account, I'm making about $30. So if the price moves $300, I'm making it about $100 on the account. So, and also remember the position sizes, because your position size is bigger, the trading fees are a lot bigger. So on my position size, I'm trading 0.3 Bitcoin to 0.4 Bitcoin per trade. And the fees are around about $10, $15, depending on the size that you're trading. So you've got to take that into consideration. Yeah.
Show us the trades. Are you in any trades?
I'm not in any trades at the moment. So let me show you there's my little account. Okay. I'm sitting on $313. Is that screen big enough?
Yeah.
Okay. So I started on $313, and what I'm doing is I'm trading on isolated. I'm starting the trade out on either a 30x isolated or a 50x isolated. So if I had to take a trade, let's say I'm taking a long trade at 10x, okay, and I wanted to use, I wanted to use 50% of my account. Actually, let's do it on a short.
Sure.
So I'm taking on a 10x, and I want to use 50% of my account. It would give me 0.068 Bitcoin. Here you can see the value of the trade. If it was a short trade, the value would be $100,544, and the cost will be $156. So I do have that amount in my account, so I could trade with that. So $156 times 10x, your position size is 1,544. So in my case, I would be doing it on a 50x. Okay. And my position size I've worked out. Okay. So 50% of the account is around about 0.326 Bitcoin. So your cost will then be $156. Okay, that's about half of what the account is, and the value in the position size will be $7,382. So that's why on the small moves you're making a lot more. So, but you've got to be very careful, because once price moves against you, it can really hit your account in a big way.
What was the mistake? What was the mistake and what was the learning?
Okay, let me show you my compounding spreadsheet.
Show us the P&L also, so we can see
what happened. This is the P&L, brother. This is the P&L. Okay, cool. So started actually on, is that big enough for you guys?
It's small, but just talk us through it nice and quickly, yeah.
Okay. So I started on $256. End of that day, that was the 17th of Jan, I made 7%, so my account went to 273. Next day, this was a very nice short trade. I made $144 on that account, so the account jumped to $418. And now you can see I've actually been making a record of what I entered, and most of these are 1 or 2 trades. So that $144 that I made was actually 2 scalps. Then the reason I'm doing this, I'm literally only scalping Bitcoin. Why? Because it's one pair that you can focus on. It doesn't take a lot of time. I set my alerts for when price gets to that point, and I get in based on the reaction. So I was up. Yeah, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 days. I was up to $480, and this is what happened. You'll see. I took 3 trades, and I said my golden rule was broken. Don't trade when you're tired and your mind isn't clear. I had a winner earlier in the day, then entered on the phone, data only because there was load shedding late on a Sunday night. Entries were rubbish. Big loss entering at POC. So I generally never enter at the POC, but because I was tired, I didn't look at it, and I was like, hey, man, I'm doing well. I can make money on this trade. I saw the trade going against me and failed to close it early. So
where was the stop loss? Yeah, you closed at minus 47. So it's always those drawdowns, always those big drawdowns that we have to avoid. And we can see that by your percentages there, you don't need to risk, it seems like, more than 10%.
You don't. So after that, I went and wrote down my account rules. I'm going to enter the trade closed in validation. And before I get into the trade, I know where to get out. So in other words, set a stop loss immediately and get out of the trade if the trade goes against you. Trade the extremities of the range, stops in profit as soon as possible. And my theory is if I can secure between $20 and $100 each day, check what's going to happen here. So, okay, today
and it is just the basics that end up getting you. You know, you always have to remember those basics.
And the amazing thing
I've learned so much from the master traders, watching the traders who don't allow those drawdowns. And you just don't entertain big losses. You don't entertain the idea of a big loss. You make sure that your risk to reward ratio is always very strong. So like you say, you didn't enter from a position of power. And then you also make sure that you honor that risk to reward ratio. You do take the stop. You do exit the trade if it goes against you. And that puts you once again in a position of power. Instead of losing $230, you could have lost maybe $20, and then you could have entered again at a very nice entry. And sure, the learning is awesome. And I love the way you're managing your risk in terms of your whole portfolio size for what you're doing there with the 50X. 100%. All right, so let me quickly have a look at the chat. I see we have a lot of questions coming in. I think there's a lot about Aptos. Yeah, I just opened up the bubbles and I see Aptos pumped 100%. So we'll have a look at that just now. Thank you for that.
Wow.
And I see, people are excited for ALTS. Unsure, thank you for that. So let's do a little bit more TA on BTC.
I was watching OP. I'm going to put my
plus 33. OP's up plus 33%.
Yeah.
Crypto Fire Bitcoin 1 day. Nice.
Want to see if I get a Fib retrace to there. Maybe I'll take a live trade on that. I haven't traded altcoins for a while. So let's check out APT USDT.B.
Perfect. So drop your questions. Ivan, what do you think about the Cosmos ecosystem? Interesting. Yeah, we've actually done some education on Cosmos, and personally I quite like it. But perhaps we should do some fundamental analysis soon. Thank you for that. All right. So should we, what is this? Let's see. Apt. Yeah, let's have a look because...
Man, there's just like zero data to the left.
There's only one other coin. I mean, this coin called Threshold that has now pumped 123% today. Man. If anyone knows anything about Threshold, let us know. But yeah, look at Apt. And I mean, Aptos, they have a big community.
Yeah.
They really do. And I can see them even in our communities. They're always around. They're relentless. They never stop. What they're up to, ranked now on 26 on the weekly market cap, $1.98 billion 24-hour volume, $2.56 billion market cap, up 110% in the week, up 344% in the month. Very, very nice. From $7.37 to $16 in 1 week. Not bad. So let us know in the chat who's been trading Aptos. Drop your screenshots. Have there been profits? Anybody been riding this wave? No idea about Threshold Crypto Cloud. We should have a look at it. Let's check SCRT, unsure. Awesome. Mistrading Apt. So when you see coins with strong community coming out, something to be aware of. Strong community often can really, really drive a coin. Okay, so should we do more TA on BTC? Let us know in the chat. Let us know if you want me to do some TA on BTC on the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour. Or
So
if we should
yeah,
maybe
just coming back to BTC. You literally can trade this. It's a very, very tradable range. So if you've taken shorts up at the top there, 23,700, longs over there, you're making really good money. And saying that, Jordan, with these trades, what I've been finding, sometimes I'm actually not taking enough profit. I mean, check this trade where I made $144. During that time, it pumped to over I think it was at $389 profit at one stage, and I should have taken a 50% profit. And a lot of the time, what happens is when we're in trades, we see a trade in profit, and we think, oh man, it's going to go higher. So you don't want to take profit in case the coin goes a lot higher, and it ends up retracing, and instead of $100, you make $20. So, if
you not have your limit orders set for your take profits.
I do, but I want to trade. Sometimes I want to turn a scalp trade, because these are quick in and outs. Like literally, I want to be in the trade and out by maybe a half an hour. If in a half an hour it hasn't pumped into a scalp trade, close it out. Quick profits in and out, and that's the thing with trading a more risky account as well. So. Yeah, I've been.
And it is a fun way of trading, and you learn a lot about the platform, how to manipulate the trades. And I must say, it is fun to come in and out of trades, especially for those who also work full time. You've got a family, and that can also be full time. And you say, okay, now I've got an hour. Let me be on the charts for an hour. Let me pull the profits out that I can, and then you walk away and you say, oh, there's $50, and that was fun. And yeah.
Listen, even though that $250 is risk capital. When you enter the trade and you see your P&L going into the negative, your heart beats, man. Then all of a sudden, when it goes into positive profit, you're very happy. So, guys, this is not a strategy for newbies. Please, not financial advice. Don't try this if you don't know what you're doing. So, I'm trading this to show what can be done if you do know what you're doing. And even when you do know what you're doing, sometimes your discipline doesn't actually take over. Like when I had that loss, and I'll make it up quickly. But you just got to really be aware, shake off the losses, and come back fresh when your mind is seeing the trades. I was saying to a friend the other day,
oneself that discipline.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I mean, you can only wreck that $300. So that is risk management, in a way, because it's a sub account.
If I lose it, yes. If I lose it, it's okay, because it's not major capital for me. But yeah, there was something else.
All right, so I see Matt from Anshu, BTC RSI Anshu. Thank you. We'll check that. Wow, nice engagement. Okay, so market advice on some token like Aptos, Solana, Axie, short or long. Sure, short or long. So looking at the larger charts, I'll let Shawn do a little bit of a zoom out. Yeah, maybe I should share my screen too. But keep your questions coming. We're going to look at each one of them. Fear and Greed Index, unsure, yeah, pretty neutral at the moment, which does mean, things could be turning around in either direction right now. And you know what? We could still be on our bear market narrative. We did not break our full bear market narrative trend with much force yet. I mean, especially on the weekly or monthly timeframes. So always zoom out, until we've broken that. Let me actually clean up my charts a bit, and I'll share my bigger time frames.
Until we've broken that $24,000 area, I'm not trusting this pump yet. I still think we can go all the way down. I mean, look at this. There's this big candle here. Those are all single prints. So for those of you that don't know what single prints are, if we had to break this area of support right here. So let's say, for instance, we come below this area and we retest this as resistance. There is not a lot of liquidity. And I think it'll be a quick run down to that $20,000 area. And have a look at, I'll just put this on. This CME still has a gap down at $20,000. So it's been partially filled. It's not been filled completely. Have a look at this. Lovely little gap here on the CME. That still has to be filled, people, between 19,800 and 20,800. Now, does it mean we are going to fill it right now? Maybe not, but eventually this is going to be filled. This is one of the largest exchanges in the world, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They trade Bitcoin futures on there, and these gaps are almost always filled. So looking at that, we could really have a very, very quick move down if this breaks, and if this breaks right here as support. Got a lot of single prints right there again, and we could break down very, very easily, even back down below that $19,000 area. But the important thing is trade the ranges until they break. I mean, here we had a very, very tradable range. We could trade this range, short at the top, long at the bottom. And if you caught this long at the bottom and held it as a scalp trade, man, you are laughing. And the same here, short at the top, long at the bottom on confirmation and on your confluences. So if you'd taken a short there, I took a short from about 23,100, but I got stopped out in profit. So if this would have broken down and was still in that short, that would have been really, really nice profits. So always be aware of those situations.
One day, thank you for your info on Threshold. I have to have a look at that. When you see a coin pumping that much, we have to do some fundamental analysis. So I'll look at that. But let me quickly share my charts on Bitcoin. And then please do drop your altcoins. Let's just tag team this. We'll both share our screens. So yeah, we'll both just give out a little bit of a say on the major ones, Solana, Matic, 88-bit, Theta. Any suggestions, please do drop them in. Let's do a bit of TA across the board. And please do screen the alts, if there's anything that has pumped or has dumped that we might get a nice live trade on. Let's act as a community. All right, so please confirm if you can see my screen share there.
Yep.
TA on Sol 4-hour, Gibson, thank you for that. Venu, please list Nimic. Interesting. Black Swan before halving like in 2020. Oof, wouldn't that be lovely? A nice wick down to 12,000. Just buy a whole lot of Bitcoin. All right. How can I make a withdrawal? Pretty easily. Let us know if there's a problem. Almost smashed my screen thinking there was an actual fly. All right, let's see. We can see your screen. Perfect. All right, so this is the trend line that I'm watching, this downward sloping support right now. We were tracking this little wedge on the 1 hour. We can see that the POC is above us at 22.8, so watch for that as resistance. But basically, we can see that the bulls are getting a little bit exhausted at this point. We are sliding down this support line. And, that can just continue. Like Shawn said, just basically play this range until it breaks. Of course, there's another line here giving us a little bit of resistance. And basically, I do see the price probably coming below. And maybe that's the bear in me that's grown throughout the bear cycle. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. Let me know if you think perhaps we'll come above, test the POC, possibly break above, up to that 23,200 level. Let's quickly zoom out so we can have a look where we are in terms of our larger Fibonacci's, etc. on the daily. Just clean this up a little bit. All right, so massive upwards movement. So nice to see. Sure, we did come up to our perfect target there at 23,200. And thank you, X300, for that call. That was absolutely gorgeous. And as we can see, this does look like swing failure. If we start to read the candles here on the daily, you can see a massive green candle followed by lots of indecision in the market. And that indecision is currently seemingly turning into a change in the trend to the downside. We can see our 2.618 that we flew through like absolute butter could give us a little bit of support there. Otherwise, next level would be that 1.618, 19,600. And of course, we could just pump more. You know, Bitcoin is Bitcoin. If it wants to pump, we can see that it just wants to pump. Even from here, it could pump further. So if it does decide to do that, like, yes, we are coming through the slow moving average on the RSI. We are heavily overbought. You know, all the signs are saying short, but just remember, this is Bitcoin. And that's why we're in this industry, because it is surprising and we need to be able to adapt, turn around, jump on the charts. But basically, if we do see some upside here from this support level, I would see this 3.618 Fibonacci up at 23,700 as being the next major take profit zone. Like I said, you would not enter any kind of long here. If you're not in any kind of trade, of course, you would be scoping for the other way around, because this is the daily RSI. And yeah, we don't play from a position, you know, in the wrong direction. So right now, that's my look at the larger time frames. Like I said, on that hourly time frame, it's very simple. Watch that downward sloping support line, and you've got your major Fibonacci's here. So I think we're cool for Bitcoin right now. We can move on to altcoins. So please do drop any altcoins you'd like to look at. Let's have a quick look at the headlines, see what's happening. Shawn, do you have any comments on my own little TA here?
Just let me just share my screen again. Oh, you're going to have to unshare yours, Jordan.
All right.
See, there's a nice move down on Bitcoin at the moment.
Okay. I see Bitman called a nice Solana short in the South African group just now. He literally said,
nice
go
Bitman.
short on Sol. Then he first dropped the 40% P&L, and then he dropped the 300%. So I think it's nice to see him back on the chart.
I'm gonna set a limit order here. If I get stopped out, I'll set my stop just below that fib. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. Let's do this. So where am I? I'm going to set my limit order, 22,495. 5, and let's make it 0.3. Okay, I'm on 50x. And open long. Okay, let's add a stop loss. I'll set it just below 22.4. Let's make it 22,470. Okay. Okay, so my loss will be $7.50. Did you see that? So at least I know that if I get lower, I'm actually going to just get stopped out for a very small loss. So it's a very small risk to reward ratio. So let's say I'm going to take my profits. I'll look at this, possibly this NPOC. And if we go back to the top of the range, let's say I take profits at 23,000. 23,000. Okay, that'll be $151 profit. So that would be actually that's a very, very nice risk to reward ratio. But we'll have to see what happens here. But it looks like we could be bouncing. I just want to check the order flow real quick. Okay. All right. We've just started this half an hour candle, and it looks like we've got a little bit of demand for longs opening up there, and possibly some shorts strapped into there. See on the BTC USD chart. Okay, lots of shorts possibly going to get trapped here if we get a move up. And let's see what's happening on the CVD. Okay, not too much happening on the CVD, so it's not giving us too much of an indication. That could be leading. So that CVD actually making lower highs. It could be meaning that it is leading down for a little bit of a dump. So let's see what happens. My other trade idea, Jordan, and this again is not financial advice. I want to see if price comes up to this NPOC. That's a naked POC that was touched, but you can see it's been acting as resistance. So if we get a little swing failure pattern there, might take a smaller trade, like a 0.15 Bitcoin size trade, and just see where
It's
it
nice
goes.
to have those ideas that, that
Yeah.
hedge. They're kind of like worst case. You must always think that basically there is always a strong position in the market, and you're either in it or you're not. It's such a binary market. It's like you're either short or long at the wrong time or the right time, and you must always be able to understand and not hold on to a dead idea. Be able to switch. All right, so I see Dron, very nice chart. Well done. Thank you so much. This deserves a bonus. Beautiful TA. I see your liquidity zones are awesome. You've got multiple FIRBs. Everything is being tracked very nicely. I love your clusters. And I see that you're nailing something up there by the 25,000 level as a zone, if we do pump. And as I just zoomed out on my chart, I saw that I've got a 4.236 on the current FIB that we reached up almost to the 3.618. There is a 4.236 at the top of the extension, and that is 25,000. And for me, if there is one last pump in this bit of pumpiness, I think that's where we'll see the resistance. So well done on that, John. And I see you say 20K is basically what you're looking at for now. So you're looking at a little bit of, wow, we've got the same lines. I'm loving your chart. It's really cool. But basically from the rejection up at 23, you're looking for a pullback down to either 21.5 or 20,000. And then even a bounce between those and a pull down lower to my exact line. So the same line that threw us up from 19 all the way down at 16,000, that line that gave us our huge pump, it just makes sense to come back to that line. That is our major support line now in this so-called turnaround bull market trend. If we can hold that support line, then yes, we're still in that bull trend. If that support line turns into resistance, it's straight back in to our bear trend. And what we've got to look out for now, and John, one of the reasons I love your chart so much, well done, is higher highs, lower lows. Like I've said many times, we've pumped so hard right now. Is that sustainable? No, we have to be healthy. We have to come down to at least halfway before we go further back up. All right, so John, very well done. I love that chart. Thank you for dropping it.
Jordan,
okay, so let's see.
Yeah. Quick note here. This is a DXY chart. This is the dollar index. So remember that Bitcoin and crypto works inversely with this DXY chart. So if the DXY is going down, it means Bitcoin.
So let's just break it down. Let's just break it down for the newbies. Yeah. So the Dixie is basically a whole bunch of currencies, if I'm correct, against the dollar. And
well, basically, yeah. When people are selling out of the traditional markets like gold, the S&P 500, the US 30, they're basically selling their stocks into the dollar. So if they're selling the ES, it means that the dollar index, the DXY, is going to be going up. If they're buying the ES, the dollar index is going down. So you'll see here, this is now the daily chart. If I click on the ES, it's going to have an inverse relationship. Remember where the DXY was going down, the ES was going up. And it's interesting that the ES reached a daily resistance, rejected from there, and Bitcoin literally is following it almost word for word. So always in your TA.
So that ES, because that ES looks exactly like the S&P 500 chart.
Yes, this is the mini S&P 500.
Okay, so basically the same chart.
Exactly. So you got a daily level there and a daily level there. If you're trading the ES, that was your range to trade. So, and this almost exactly the same on Bitcoin. You got your daily level there, the daily level there, and there's your range to trade. So if you see the ES breaking these ranges, breaking up to the upside, you're going to expect Bitcoin to start breaking up to the upside. Same if it's going to break to the downside. So watch the ES, see where it's going, because Bitcoin will follow it. Watch the DXY. If the DXY is going down, the ES will go up and Bitcoin will go up, and the opposite is true. Okay,
so let's do this. Thank you, everybody. I see we've got here SCN, Might Pump from Crypto Cloud. We've got SCRT. We've got Dusk, Matic, Venu, S-Fund, SNFTS. But let's do this. Shawn will start it off. Let's do one coin Shawn, one coin Jordan, one coin Shawn, one coin Jordan, and let us know we'll do it like this. Drop your votes in the chat now. What are we looking at? And we'll decide who's going to do it. I see here BTC dominance. So Shawn, if you'd like to do dominance, I do have some charting on dominance that I can show.
Very cool.
Well,
yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, it's awesome. So that's it's a nice channel coming up there.
Absolutely.
That we're at some resistance at now.
Actually, we can move that on the weekly to about there. So we are coming up to resistance on the weekly. We had a bit of a deviation there on that channel. It's been a while since I've charted on my BTC USD dominance. But yeah, basically, if this rejects here, this BTC dominance, that means altcoins. In other words, if we get a move that comes and rejects there and comes and breaks the support, breaks that support, we will see a major move on altcoins. And inversely, if we see the BTC dominance break resistance, retest it as support, then altcoins are going to dump very, very hard. So just keep an eye on that.
Alrighty, so let's have a look here. Let me know if that covers it for BTCD. There is on the daily and a very nice upward sloping channel, so just mark it out. And yeah, it's a very nice chart to look at because the POC on the daily for BTCD is all the way down at 40%. And that could be a nice pullback on that. All right, so
it's still Bitcoin season. Alts haven't started running yet. You can go and check out this altcoin season index. When there are a couple of alts that have started running, but when BTC dominance actually is gonna drop off, then and we reach the 75 on this index, then what's going to happen is alts are going to run like crazy, and you'll probably just be able to long everything and make money on it.
Yeah, so it's a very nice indicator for us on what the market's doing. So let me have a look at my Sol chart. Do you have any TA on Sol?
I don't. Sure. I think you rather do that. I'm watching OP because if it reaches here, I'm going to take a trade.
Okay, let me quickly share my screen again. Okay, so this is the Solana chart on the daily time frame. We can see that our major buy liquidity was here between $7 and $10. And yeah, well done to those who bought in that zone. We did map it out and we did make some nice profits. That was a long time ago. That was 250% ago. So well done to those who made a 2.5x buying at the bottom. And you know what? This was easy trading. This was literally just the RSI on the daily bottoming out like crazy. If you follow the right signs, you benefit. Here, buy. Here, buy. Here it's telling us buy. Here it's telling us buy. So always play from a position of power. And then we could see now when it's even telling us to start selling. And we might be coming down to maybe even compound some of the sells that we're making now to buy lower. So I hope everybody's following there. Let me clean it up a little bit. As you can see, it's a very steep upward sloping channel that we're in. We have broken the slow moving average and tested it as resistance on the daily time frame on the RSI. So could be a matter of another test of this moving average before entering the momentum zone back downwards towards oversold. Yeah, right now I wouldn't really hop into the short or the long. I see that Bitman has hopped into the short. We'll see how it goes. But I mean, it's very clear to see that if we break out here this has been for us just long, now we're short and it could be a long, but these are the lines to watch. So map them out if you have them. We can see the POC on the daily is 13.5 cents. And basically, if we break this support that we've got at the $22, yeah, it is looking like a short. And, we can come all the way back down to the POC and still be healthy here on Solana, which could be very nice. Like I say, if this pump is to be healthy, same with Bitcoin, we have to come down a bit. We have to retest our proper support and continue going up in a nice, healthy, bullish way. And like I said, here is the liquidity that you want to buy up. If you want to be a whale, if you want to be thinking against the crowds, I'm not saying we will come back there, but as you can see, as soon as we touched our liquidity zone on the top, we got rejected very quickly. So if you really want to make nice sells on what you bought, this would be the demand sell zone that we've mapped out previously. So anywhere, sure, and this is huge profits, I mean, that we've made from $7 up to $31 for a take profit on spot. So really nice to see, this market is not going away. If you can make 300% on spot in a few weeks on an altcoin, and yeah, this is why we love being in this industry. Let me quickly go a little bit closer, see what's happening here. Okay, so POC above us now on the 1 hour. We have tested it as resistance, and Solana's kind of hanging on for dear life here at the top of this huge pump. I would watch this RSI on the 1 hour, wait for it to come up properly into the nice. If you are looking to enter in on the short, just wait for the 1 hour, wait for the 15-minute to coincide with a nice RSI entry at the top, and yeah, always enter from the extremes and see what happens. Yeah, it's looking a little bit deadly, looking a little bit dangerous. So you know what? If you are in huge profits, there's no problem with taking some of that. All right, I think that's cool for now on Solana. Let's hear from the community. What are we looking at next? Maybe I should keep my screen shared for one more coin, and then we'll move it back over to Shawn. All right, let's see. BTCD, we looked at Nabegledebegu. I'd say we're in a stable market as of right now. Nice. Alts tend to do well in stable market. Sure, I'm not sure how stable we are. Let's quickly jump back to my small time frame BTC chart. 15 minutes, yeah, POC all the way above us. We can see that the 15-minute isn't just, it's indecisive. So just wait. It's not giving us our proper RSI entries. And until we get those, we're not happy. We want to enter shorts here. And those of you who saw my trade today, sure, what was my entry? It was 22.9. Okay, so it was at the POC. And I did make a nice 150% on 100x, but I just decided to take the profits because of this choppiness. I just wanted to make a scalp, and yes, that could turn into a really nice swing trade that I could have kept, but you know what, it wasn't supposed to be a swing trade, so I just left it at that. But what I'm seeing here is just exhaustion. This is obviously consolidation after a pump, and yeah, this is just lower highs, as we can see, and until we break that little bearish trend that we're in now, it can just result in this kind of loss of momentum back down to the bottom. But use this 15-minute. If it's going to be a big dump, it will be from here. If it's going to be a big pump, it'll be from here. And history just tells us that. Go back in the charts and have a look. And the same thing with the 1 hour. Right now, we can see the 1 hour coming down from the proper overbought territory, but not entering into oversold yet. And this could come all the way down. So yeah, nice to always zoom in. After you've zoomed out, zoom in. All right, so let's have a look. More altcoins. We've got so many to choose here. I know someone did ask for Matic. Let's have a look. Let's just zoom out quickly. Okay, so Matic looking pretty similar to Bitcoin. We got a little bit of a double top here at the $1 level. POC at 88 cents. So yeah, it's printing a lot like Bitcoin. So the pattern that Bitcoin decides to play out here will probably end up defining the trend for a lot of these altcoins. But we can see here the 76 cents level for Matic would be basically the take profit for the short. If you wanted the short, it was up here. So don't hop in. If you missed it, money is made waiting. Play from a position of power. Wait until you're in the right zone for that. So I think Matic is a sit on your hands coin for right now. Let me quickly scroll through my alts and see if there's anything that's going crazy. Let's have a look at Bit. Wow, pumpage on pumpage. 56 cents. Bit, sure, all the way down here. So let's have a look. The last time the RSI gave us a buy signal was here. When the RSI hit 20, it was at the bottom of this wick. If we bought there, just according to daily RSI, that's it. Easy peasy trading, 123% up. Very nice, well done, Bit. We even caught a little short, so you can even open a nice, spot long or low leverage long, and then you can even scalp these shorts. But Bit is in a very nice upwards trajectory right now. So let's go into a smaller time frame and see what's actually happening here. Got a very nice channel. We can see that's being respected on the 1 hour, and it's just giving us trade after trade. So trade this channel till it breaks. And look at this cluster here with the channel and the POC. I mean, that's just asking for a touch. On the 1 hour here, back up. RSI is even asking to come down. So that's what it's looking like for me on Bit. There's also a cluster here for us. So if Bit can keep going, how nice would that be? Of course, just be careful for that POC sending us in the opposite direction. We know that can happen. Pull down to here, break below it, retest the POC, and back down to these levels. Could even come all the way back down to this, which is our major line here. We can see how we broke through it. We retested it, and that's awesome. But this is a major, downward sloping support line for us. So watch there around 35 cents. Let me know if there are any thoughts on this. I will go into the chat soon. Avalanche, nothing too interesting at the POC.
Jordan, sorry to interrupt you. That OP just had a touch of that golden pocket. I just missed an entry. So I'll see. I'll put a limit order. I'll see if I can get filled.
All right, so let me hand over again to Shawn. If you'll share your screen, you can actually choose an alt for us to do. I'll go back into the chat. I see we've got some charts. When bonk pump, interesting. So bonk looks like it does want to pump. I see that. So that's the 4-hour chart, Crypto Cloud. Thank you for that. It just looks like it wants to break out there. So maybe we should look at that chart. Let me quickly pull it up. Or maybe we should just look at the bonk USDT. Let's see if we can get a buy with this one. Okay, that's fine. We'll do .p. Wow. So this is something, this does get me going. If you missed the long at the extreme, we haven't even moved that far from the extreme. And what we can see, this is what I like trading. This is what I like trading, because this is just risk to reward. That's really nice. So let's just see if we had to have a long trade from here. And I don't like trading breakouts. As I say, I like trading extremes. We missed the long on the RSI there. But with a coin like this, you can manage your risk. You can get your risk to reward ratio nice and solid. But if we look back, this was January. Sure, 23rd. So, wow. Let's map this out. It's been a 34% down. And if we look at this risk to reward, okay, so it's a 1 to 4.3. Definitely, I could even put my stop at the bottom of these candle wicks here, so that if we go lower, enter back into this, then you rather just play from down here, back when you're in the right level for the long. If you do want to try trade this breakout, then keep your stop tight. But when we see this, this is what it's just such a nice thing to trade when there's one line, and we've tested this line how many times on the 1 hour? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times. This is the 9th time, and this could end up in just a bit of a swoosh. And we love catching those trades. So thank you, Crypto Cloud.
That all right, so Shawn. Nice breakout trade.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, so if you want to cover just a few more alts, we do have a little bit of time. Let me stop my share.
I've been watching OP, so let me just share that screen again. So we had a high right here, This is the previous high. So it looks like we've had a swing failure pattern hit over there. So we've taken out that previous high, so taking out the liquidity. And obviously, OP has really pumped over the last while. Yeah, almost back at its all-time high. So 21st of January, we had an all-time high. So this is very, very close. So we could still see this coin keep on going, because this thing, when it starts pumping, it becomes very, very bullish. It's actually a very nice coin to trade. I really like trading this coin. But coming back, there's really no data on the daily. So you can see it's come all the way from the bottom there. So really no data to the left at the moment. We've got a weekly level there at 191, but that's really the only data that we've got there. Not even a daily level there. 197, we've got a daily level. So if the short plays out very nicely, that could be a very, very nice take profit if Bitcoin breaks down very nicely. So coming back to our smaller time frame, we've had our swing failure pattern taking out the high there. And let me just delete this. I actually drew this fib golden pocket earlier. So if you draw it from the high where the swing failure pattern took place, all the way to the bottom of the pivot, right there you can see right now we've got a perfect retracement to that $2.3560 area. So what I'm going to be looking out for now is, because I've actually had a fill on this trade, I want to look for some bearish price action here. So normally if you boil down or break down to the 1 minute or the 3 minute, I want to see this structure start turning a little bit bearish. And there we might have some. Okay. I'd like to see it print maybe like something like this, come back up to test there, and I'd like to see it start breaking some of these structures here. If it starts breaking those structures, that's a very nice trade. And yeah, we can see. Okay, I actually took the trade. So I didn't take a bigger position as I would on Bitcoin. This is just my normal kind of trade size, but on my $250 account. So let's see where that goes. I've placed my stop just above these wicks, and actually, let me do this. It was actually just above this swing failure pattern wick. I think I placed my stop right about just above that 4-hour level. So take profit. If this is going to break down as I expect it to, take profit maybe down at that $2.12 area. So that's for me a nice risk to reward.
No, that could be a monster. So what's your leverage there? Sorry, I didn't see.
That one I've only taken on 10x.
Okay.
So I've taken on 10x.
And is your limit? You did set your take profit, right?
Yep, I did.
And what's how many percentage of the contracts? 100%.
So yeah, I've put it at 100%. So that trade, if it hits on a small account, would be $87 profit. So stop loss.
But you got one take profit, and that's that. Yeah, you've got an interesting style going here. You're sniping. I love it, man. I love it. But you're gonna get so good. Like you're gonna start just sucking money out of the market. Yeah, and it's so empowering. Plan, it's lovely.
That's the plan.
And it's so low risk. You you're not gonna wreck that account, but if you do, it's chill. Like it's also chill. But you can make, if you get one of these, you can make $1,000 off your $300, and you can walk away. You can just withdraw that, walk away, go buy your groceries or whatever. All right, so I've got 2 questions here that I want to just attend to, and then we're going to call it. It's been an awesome stream. So
Jordan,
I struggle with this name.
One more. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
It's starting to drop. Also, another reason I put my take profit there at $2. Look where it's come from this afternoon. 2 o'clock came from 197. I was actually watching this, and I wanted to take a long, but I got busy and I just didn't take the long. So let's see. Maybe it drops. Maybe it won't play out, but let's see. Over to you.
Go to the 1 minute. Let's have a look quickly at the 1 minute there.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing there.
So that's where I would watch it. Yeah, just for fun. Because now, you're in profit. When would you put your stop in profit? Or would you not?
Maybe by the time I reach $10 profit, because it's
Okay.
a small account, then and it's close to, we're going to have dinner, we're going to go to bed. So I don't want to be watching the charts. So I could set it in profits when it's about $10 in profit, and maybe set a trailing stop loss.
Yes.
So yeah, trailing stop losses are nice, especially if you're going to sleep in the trades in profit. Then you sleep. You don't have to worry about your trade.
I love the trailing stop. Absolutely love it. Okay,
Yeah.
so we have 2 minutes. Let's quickly see here.
Oh, there we go.
Bagel.
$9 in profit. Let's set a.
I love it. And the
Yeah.
percentage
I'll wait for
ROI?
10. Okay. 17% on 10x. Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, good luck. Keep us updated. Oh, that take profit
Sweet,
looks like it
sweet.
just wants to get filled. Hey, sure.
Come on.
Okay, so what do you use to draw your POC? So Shawn and I do it slightly different. I use the fixed range volume profile, which basically fixes your POC range, your volume range on whichever time frame you're on. And I love it because it's very automatic and it's very quick. Shawn actually draws his range to identify the POC out of his own fixed range. So Nabegel debeg you can do it either way. It's a matter of taste. Thank you for your question. And then here from Ompong, can the MA21 and MA200 crosses on the daily time frame determine the direction of movement of a token? So yeah, the 200 MA, as we know, is a major directional trend indicator on
Very
any
much,
asset. And the 21 I love, yes, like anything nice and tight. I actually use the 15 over the 50 as my first, and then it will be the 15 over the 100. And if the 15 crosses the 200 soon, if the 15 crosses your 50, your 100, and then your 200 and starts heading for your 500, I mean, that for me is the early signs of a trend change. So yes, Ompong, beautiful, beautiful. And I think we'll leave it at that. Thank you everybody for being here. It's been so much fun. And yeah, these sessions are becoming awesome. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's build the Discord. And yes, Shawn, any last words? Thank you, brother, for being here.
Yeah, guys, safe trading. There's money to be made in these markets. Just make sure you always set a stop loss. Jordan always says it. Make sure you have good risk management in place. Don't wreck yourself. Set stop losses. If you see a trade going against you and you've not set a stop loss, rather get out and look for a different entry. You can always come back tomorrow. Don't try and revenge trade the market. That's something I've learned. I'm going to make that money back, and you end up losing a lot more money. So just step away, put your phone down if you trade on the phone, come back tomorrow.
Very
if you're not
smart
feeling
advice.
the charts, if you don't feel the charts, take another day. Take another day if you need to. If you feel ready and you're seeing the trades and you're knowing what's going on in the market, that's when you can make money in the markets. And it's a very important thing. And I've realized, this is what I wanted to say earlier. I've realized that when I'm not seeing and understanding what's going on with price action, I should stay out, because then I'm not seeing it. And when I see it, you see the trade come to you, you take the trade, and that's when you make money.
And that's the feeling of being in power. Yeah, sure. You just said so much wise stuff there. Well done. Thank you, Shawn. That was awesome. All right. So thank you, Kilo. Thank you, Bybit Sky, Pat. Much appreciated for the support. Oh, wow. Let's see. So many online. Let's see. Who are the faces? Mabel, thank you. John, Metaboy, Stephen, Itza, Dron, SK, Lucas Buerta from South Africa in the house, Bybit Night. Thank you, everybody. Too many to mention. So much appreciated. We will see you in the community. If you do have any grid bots going, please do come and drop them in the South African community. I'm very curious. I want to get some grid bots going. I am giving away rewards for that. We're exploring some of the products. Even drop them here, drop them in English so we can learn from them. And wow, what a beautiful session. Thank you, everybody. Always remember, as we've seen here today, and always, I mean, we get reminders every day, always play from a position of power and strength. Use a stop loss and don't get wrecked. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful evening further. Good night. Thank you, Shawn.
Guys, if you want to check out my YouTube channel, Bitcoin Growth Method, ZAR Trader Guy. I'll be posting a lot of my trades on my $250 Degen account. If you want to follow that, then check it out. Thanks, man. Safe trading,
Thanks,
guys.
Shawn. Everybody
Cheers,
go
Jordan.
subscribe. All right. See you all in the community. Thanks again.
Cheers,
Good
man.
night.